I am a diehard Chicago Bulls fan. Been one since Jordan days. Yes, I'm that old. I've been I've been one since the Jordan days, and I've always been a diehard Bulls fan. Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, all the whole Bulls. The last, when the Last Dance came on, I was there, glued, watched every episode. And it's funny because I was born in New York, and my father is a diehard Knicks fan. Doesn't I? I don't. I don't think even he knows why I'm a Bulls fan. But I've always said what made me a Bulls fan, which is which is really weird because it was, in my opinion, I guess, because I think it was I saw a Magic and a Bulls game, and my favorite color was red. And I tell people all the time, this was before even Jordan came back, because I remember the whole Jordan he's back commercial that NBA on NBC used to play. It was just like he's back. But this was when Scottie Pippen was on the Bulls. So Scottie Pippen actually made me a diehard Bulls fan, mind you. And I tell people all the time. And then you start watching Jordan. He was like, "Yo, Jordan is just Jordan is Jordan." Obviously, like you fall in love with Jordan just like everybody else did. But this is what I guess obviously I'm talking about Scottie Pippen and him calling Jordan a horrible player, and I don't think Scottie means it. But at the same time, it's just like I don't understand why Scottie Pippen is doing this. Like I've had this conversation with my father like plenty of times, and he believes that it's because that no one really gives Scottie credit, and to, I believe him when he says that, because there are some people outside of Jordan, and be mindful, this is outside of Jordan. Like there are people that will clown Scottie Pippen. Like I remember when Isaiah was on the open court and he was clowning Scottie Pippen. He was like, I can understand Jordan saying, but Pippen, like a lot of people used would give Pippen shit because it's just like, because Jordan is Jordan, and it's just like, but you ain't, and a lot of people's like, you wouldn't be who you was, but you wasn't for Jordan, in which I I see, I agree and disagree at the same time. I think Pippen would have been a great player, but I don't think he would have won 6 rings without Jordan. Therefore, I don't think Jordan would have won 6 rings without Pippen either. We all said this, we've all confirmed this, and we all acknowledge this, that they wouldn't have won 6 rings without each other. So, with that being said, I have never heard Jordan say a bad thing about Pippen, even even during the Last Dance, because I think this is all started because I guess the way Pippen didn't like how he was portrayed in the Last Dance, which a lot of Bulls people didn't like it either. But it was Jordan's documentary, so Jordan is going to have to say what thought in the story. And two, and I think this is really important, that playoff with the Knicks, I think it really eats him to this day. No matter, and be mindful. I don't think Jordan was trying to tarnish him or trash him. I think he was just giving his opinion, and um and we can be honest, and that even Pippen can admit that he shouldn't have acted that way during the playoffs when he was like, "I'm gonna give Tony Kukoc the ball, they win." Fucking Scottie Pippen throws a fit. Scottie Pippen is known to throw a fit, and it shows. Like, was he a great player? Yes, he was the original point. You could say he's the original point forward. I know Magic is 6'9", but Magic played point guard. But motherfucking Scottie Pippen is 6'7", 6'7" 0.4. You could say he's the original point forward because even though Jordan led the scoring, Pippen led in other fucking statistics, and you could tell him it was like he and Pippen was one of 50 greatest players. Pippen is not a slouch. One of the greatest two-way players to ever touch the basketball. And he was a facilitator. And that nigga could posterize. So, Pippen really could do it all. And I feel like if and like he wasn't prone to scoring because a lot of people just like they bring up the like I think he averaged like 19 points. I will probably look it up later, but I know he barely averaged 20 points when like Jordan left. But they was a 60-win team. In other words, Pippen didn't need to be like Jordan because I feel like a lot of people Jordan and Pippen, their styles is different. Like Pippen can score, but he's better at facilitating, and he made that team better. And people forget that, yeah, he didn't score 19 points, but he literally made his whole team better to where, like, if anything, the triangle functioned better with Pippen in it. I can honestly say that, which is why like his points was like more spread around. Jordan, it is a scorer, so he is going to be like throwing 30. He's going to be dropping 50 on people. He's going to be dropping 60. Pippen, a great game for Pippen is like him like 19 and 10, which is not bad. It's just not like when you compare it to scorers. It's just like you want to say, oh, he's not Jordan's number, but I feel like Pippen dominates that. Like Jason Kidd's the type of dude that he will have a triple double. He will have or Rondo. Like Rondo will have 4 points, but he will have 19 assists. That's him dominating the game. Like him getting other people. Like he may not score a lot, but 19 assists. That means everybody else is scoring because that's a pure point guard. It's like, but Jordan, he's the type of dude. It's just I'm gonna give you 50. So that's the thing about Jordan. So I feel like a lot of people like don't really give Scottie Pippen his flowers. I remember Skip Bayless said he don't think Scottie Pippen's one of the 50 greatest players, and like Jordan basically carried like, and Skip has a love affair with Michael Jeffrey Jordan because he calls him Michael Jeffrey Jordan. But and like I said, I love Jordan too, but even I say, yo, you wildin' because they couldn't win without each other. And like a lot of people say it, and I can like with the the whole Knicks series, and I feel like if because let's be real, they was one shot away from going to the finals. Now, if Pippen took that team to the finals without Jordan, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I think you know that. I think I know that. The whole world knows that. So, with that being said, I feel like that also eats him alive because the one chance that he would have, let's say, took a team without Jordan and he could have won without Jordan, he wasn't able to do it. And I feel like that eats him alive because a lot of people, like I said, Jordan is the one that everybody acknowledge, idolizes, and then when you think of Pippen, even though a great player, people don't really give him his flowers that I think he feels like he deserves, and I feel like that's why he's acting out, and even to a point where it's just like, and Kendrick Person said, "Yo, you a grown ass man. Why the fuck are you acting like this?" And this is where I'm acting like, cause excuse me, this is where I'm at because I have never heard Jordan say a bad word about Pippen. Every time, like, when it's just like, when he does interviews, when he does his documentary, because I think it put him in a good light, in my opinion. And I don't know what the hell Scotty saw that, when he thought it was bad, but like I said, I think it's that next playoff game that's going to eat him alive for the rest of his life, and that's just probably it. And he's just stuck with that. But I've never heard Jordan say a bad word about Pippen. I've never heard really Jordan say a bad word about Pippen. And Jordan's an asshole. And anybody that's a Bulls fan know that Jordan is an asshole. But I've never heard him say a bad word about Pippen. If I'm wrong, you can send me an interview where you think it. Someone send me a clip where he said something. I will rescind my statements. But I've never heard him really bad. Even when he was like, if like you have a top five, you can pick anybody in the top five. Pippen was in his starting five. Pippen was in that starting five. You know why? Because he could trust Pippen. Like he put like it was like him. It was Jordan, Magic, Pippen, and I think Hakeem Olajuwon, and I forgot who was the four. And I want to say it was Karl Malone, or Charles Barkley. It was either Charles Barkley or Karl Malone, but one of them was the four. And it was just like that's the team I'm going to run with. I feel like, and he feels like that's just going to. that's gonna beat everybody. His legendary starting five. I know there's a clip on there on First Take somewhere because like even Skip Bayless kind of dogged that. Now I know Shaq kind of dogged Pippen for some reason. I don't know why, but Shaq pick on anybody. I know Charles Barkley and Scottie Pippen don't get along. I can tell that. So I feel like it's other people that's also eating that. It was just like, yo, y'all not acknowledging my great. It was like I was there too. So people when they talk about Jordan, you know, he was God in basketball shoes. That man could walk on air. That man could do everything and all that other stuff. Like Pippen, he was a great player. Now, like, that may eat at him too. That people don't look at Pippen the same way that people look at Jordan, but Jordan literally changed the game. And I don't, even though I think Pippen is a great player and he is the prototype for the point forward, which you're seeing a lot in the league now with your LeBron James, your Grant Hills at the time, your Luka Doncic. Because I don't think Luka Doncic is a point; he's three, but in my opinion, they should play him at point. Um, Giannis, hell, I'll even give you Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's like a point center, like tall people, like facilitating the ball. It's like Magic. You could say, like I said, Magic could be a point forward, but he played point guard. But Scottie Pippen, like two-way players like him, like Jimmy Butler. When you see, like I know a lot of people like give Jimmy Butler has like Jordan's mentality with Scottie Pippen's tool set. That's how I look at Jimmy Butler. That's why I like Jimmy Butler. But but like this as a Bulls fan, and I feel like as a lot of Bulls fans, it saddens me because one, like it makes it makes Scotty look like a sucker, and as someone that people love, you don't want to see people that you love look like a sucker. It's just like he don't take accountability for his own shit. It's just like it looks weird, and that's how I feel when I look at it. Because I remember I was thinking to myself, one of my first drawings I ever did was Scottie Pippen dunking a basketball. It was a terrible drawing, but the fucking love was there. Like I had the Pippen fade and everything, and like I don't even think like I could barely draw shoes, but I could draw a fade. So it was just like I had the 33 on in, and I tried to make it look as closely to like the Bulls, uh, fucking 33 Scottie Pippen, and I fucking love Scottie Pippen. It's just like just as much as I love hell. Even when I'm playing 2K and I did the Jordan challenge, it's like I do my Jordan joints, and I used to give Pippen the ball, and Pippen like would dominate. Like when I was doing my team on here, and I had me a Scottie Pippen. I forgot what type of card it was. It was my best card because Scottie Pippen was like a two-way player, and that was when he was on the Trailblazers. It wasn't even a Bulls. It was a fucking Trailblazers Scottie Pippen, which also I feel like that kind of eats at him because he's had multiple chances of saying like I could win without Jordan, and he could never do it. Gets close, but can never fucking do it. Like that Trailblazers team that lost to Shaq and them. Like trust me, if Shaq and them didn't win that series, their Blazers team would have won that series, and that is like solidified Pippen and say, okay, I can do this on my own. Because we look at Steph Curry right now, and this is my last point, and then I'll just bottom line it. We look at Steph Curry right now. With Kevin Durant joining Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors, a lot of people was saying Kevin Durant is the best player, and then a lot of people like, is Steph as really good as we thought? And I remember my whole reaction was Kevin Durant is there so Steph Curry could take a break. Kevin Durant is there so Steph Curry can take a break. Because Kevin Durant was the one ring chasing. Steph already had a ring. He was unanimous MVP. He took a team 73-9 without Kevin Durant. With them, yeah, they win 2 rings. And Kevin Durant has 2 finals MVPs, in which he deserved because he was balling. But I want people to understand there was times when Kevin Durant was hurt if Steph Curry was like, all right, I got to try now, and would drop like 40 and drop 40 back to back, it still reminds you why he was the best player on earth. And I always say this: um, if Steph Curry never dragged that fucking Warrior team to the finals when Kevin Durant was hurt in the playoffs, I feel like Kevin Durant would have stayed. Because not only Kevin Durant was hurt, I think it was around the second time when he was playing the Rockets, and Chris Paul and James Harden was on there, and like that was the Rockets' chance. Excuse me. That was the Rockets' chance to beat Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors. They couldn't. And then next thing you know, Steph Curry takes, Portland Trailblazers when Dame Lillard was on fire. Like, this was peak Dame Lillard. And I was right when I said this is his one and only chance to get to the finals. After this, I don't think he's getting to the finals. And I've been correct. Swept them. Swept them. Like, it wasn't even funny. Swept them to having a, okay game, even though the Raptors won, having a, still giving them a good fight without Kevin Durant. Except, that one game when he came in and he just, you could watch his Achilles just tear. As soon as he fucking landed, just boom. I was like, ooh, that shit exploded. And I was like, God damn. You could watch that shit tear off the bone. But I feel like if Steph Curry never dragged that team to the finals, Kevin Durant would still be on the Warriors to this day. That is I could be wrong. That is my honest opinion. Because after that, Steph won without him and got Finals MVP. Kevin Durant has not even sniffed a second round. Barely sniffed the second round this year. And the fucking Nuggets fucking demoralized them. So what can you do? So, but bottom line is, Scottie Pippen, I don't like seeing this from you, my brother. And I know you're trying to sell books and, your whiskey. I think he has a whiskey or some shit. But this is not the way to go. That man has never done nothing to you for you to be acting like that. And I understand, like, as a great player, you're top 75. And hell, you're top 50. You can even say you're top 50. One of the greatest defensive two ways, one of the greatest teams NBA basketball has ever seen. And the fact that, act like this, just like, come on, man. You don't need to be doing this shit. I don't, and it's funny because, and I know some people mention it, and I've seen it in the Red Pill, that, it's because that his ex-wife is dating Michael Jordan's son. I tried to leave that out of there. Because I feel like that's too personal, and I don't know if it's really gotten that far. Now, if it's that far, then I will make another video talk about it and, say I was wrong, but I don't think it's about that. I really don't think it's about that. So I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt that it's not about that. But I don't like seeing this. In the words of Kendrick Perkins, you're like 57 years old, man. Like, whatever problems you have with Mike, y'all can at least talk it out or some shit like that. Instead of, just saying he was a horrible player before I got there. No one believes you. Especially when he was rookie of the year and he averaged 30 points and he was an all-star. No one believes you. But that's my opinion on that. Let me know what you guys think. Till then, my name is Oskito Fly, a diehard Bulls fan, and I am out. Peace.